Hello everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Diablo 3. So, in the last episode, I said I was going to have a quick review of where we were, mostly so that I could see what gems I wanted. But I've realised also that we've got Evocation on still, and we don't actually need Evocation at all because we don't have Archon. So we're actually going to change that over for Unwavering Will, which is kind of funny because that was one of the Hellfire amulets we had picked up. So between them, we've got Galvanizing Ward, Unstable Anomaly, Unwavering Will, Audacity, and Cold-Blooded. Now, I am going to check our old amulet just to see if see how it compares to our current one. So the intelligence is better. Critical hit damage is pretty much on par. That life per hit is huge, but life per hit's no use if you've still got your shield in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-roll that life per hit, just in case we can end up with a vitality based one, and then we can compare properly. Okay, that's pretty good. So actually having the vitality is going to be better for us. That's really interesting to see, and that's a low vitality roll. I mean, that is at this point. So let's actually roll that up to a higher one. 2.6%. That's a pretty significant change. So if we're ending up going Unwavering Will on it, we want Cold-Blooded down here. So enemies chilled or frozen take 10% more damage from all sources. That's pretty solid, I'd say. Shen, I need you to take this out. We'll put that in there. We're still going to hold on to this, of course. It's interesting to be able to compare that percentage increase. But obviously, the more things that we have that give us a plain plus to vitality, the better the percentage increases are going to be. So when we take off the Mantle of Channeling, actually, it kind of becomes more profound. That's really interesting. Oh, of course it'll become more profound because it is a massively higher vitality amount. Yeah. Very interesting, very interesting. We're going to keep this down here as one of our potential options. And I did actually want Bane of the Trapped. So Bane of the Trapped is going to be our second gem. And then Ice Blink is going to be our third. So really, I want a ring with a socket in. Do I actually have any rings with sockets in that I could temporarily use? I mean, we could use the Halo of Arlis, but we're not. It would be disadvantageous to do that. I think that's going to have to be the next thing we push towards. All right. Well, for the moment, I'm going to put it up here so we can start pumping it, and as soon as it gets like close to rank 25, we'll switch it over because that's going to give us a pretty significant boost overall.
Are you strong enough to survive the trial?
That's a busy start. Thanks for the help, Hydras. I mean, they were just like straight in there. And this time I'm actually using Storm Armor, so we're going to get the benefit of that as well. Holy moly. Yeah, I thought about the Unwavering Will thing and double-checked my plan. And we do actually stand still for long enough. It's 1.5 seconds. It's not a huge amount of time. And if we're not standing still, it's normally because we're running, doing something, getting things killed. Much like this, actually. So I think we're in a very good place. Man, they are doing a lot of that, aren't they? I actually want all of that back. Our shield seems to be holding up pretty well. I'd love to be able to like have an easy... wow, our shield went up to 800,000 for a moment there. I'd love to be able to have an easy readout on the shield. Now, of course, at the moment I've got topazes socketed in all of our equipment. I could swap that over for diamonds and we could really pump our resistances and try and increase the damage reduction. But I'm going to wait until we get like further in the game to decide if that's necessary. I'm hoping it won't be necessary. Of course, putting up our intelligence does increase our resistances a little bit, but not as much. That's what I'm talking about. We're back to the old play style. Let me just hop on past all that. This area is safe to come back to should we need. It's amazing how you can really dislike some tile sets and really like others. This is, and kind of always has been, the core of what Diablo is for me. It's so reminiscent of Diablo 1 and the dungeon crawling, or Act 3 in Diablo 2. You know, once you get to the temple and start going through the underbelly, it's really the core of what Diablo is. I'm very excited for Diablo 4, of course, with the outside areas and getting back to exploring the marshes and expanding the amount of the world that's available. So there's going to be a lot of potential there. But yeah, I love this tile set. It brings back good memories. And of course, you end up romanticizing things. If you ever actually go back and play Diablo 1 now, unless you are an old school hardcore retro gamer like I am, you're probably not going to enjoy it because it's staggered, painful gameplay compared to the fluidity that you get with modern games. But it was fun, and I remember it much like this. They did a good job with the anniversary event, introducing like the filter and making things feel a bit more like they were on a grid. I think that was a very smart way of approaching it. But yeah, if you ever actually go back to the old game, you could shoot arrows in a line and enemies would walk into them because it was grid based. Don't have to aim when you're shooting arrows. That's what I say. Just point your bow in the rough direction and it'll kill things for you. Yeah, these are doing a bloody good job for us. Alright, well, we've been all the way... Alright, it's going to be that way. Teleport! And teleport. I love being a wizard. Wizards are just so mobile compared to some other classes. I mean, if you take Witch Doctors, for instance, I mean, they're not mobile, but Spirit Walk is not the same as Teleport. Leap is probably closer to Teleport. Leap from a barbarian, but... So this is equivalent Torment 8 that we're running at the moment, and we're pretty damn comfortable, I'd say. Pretty damn comfortable, he says, immediately taking a butt ton of damage. Wow. So channeling pylons are no longer really useful for us other than the incredibly high mobility that we're going to get. Hi, Orlash. Let's just get you hammered down. Oh, we got a consumable. Oh, that's amazing. And Boyaski's chip. Okay, so we are starting putting Bane of the Trapped up. I see Fazula's Improbable Chain. Is that Fazula's Improbable Chain? It might be Fazula's. I think it's the one that Archon needs anyway. So that's the other thing I've done. I've put the difficulty up to Torment 8 because we're pretty solid. It is. Wow, that's a really nice one. We can roll that electrocute damage off it potentially. Put that in there. Yeah, that's going to be pretty nice. We'll probably end up doing the Amazing Arcana dungeon when the time comes. Right, let's salvage up what we've got. Do we have enough for another? We've got enough for another run through a Greater Rift. And we'll just keep pushing this a bit higher. We can afford to empower it, so let's do that. Now, our resources do get low occasionally, but that's okay. I can't actually bring up Unwavering Will, but it gives us the incentive to stand still like now and then and get our regeneration on. I was going to say something a little bit more interesting to fight in the Rift, and that'll do perfectly actually. Keeping one Hydra at the forefront as we progress. Let's give our stuff just a moment to recharge. We're nearly at another level, so we'll get it all back as well. In just a second. There we go. All those resources back. I do like the variety we've been able to get with our wizards over time, from massively exploding, going to using the anniversary event gem, giving us huge cooldown reduction for giant Archon pushes, through to battle mages in the middle of combat, and electrocute balls being flung overhead. We've done it all. My favourite, as always, is exploding, though. It's a little bit disappointing that we're not exploding, but you can't have everything. I've got little ground serpents though, so
I'm just warming up. Need more arcane power.
Come on, Hydras, get him gone. There we go.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Yeah, the Hydras are pretty damn effective. Is that a no-go area? Yeah, that's a no-go area. Let's refresh our various things in the background. Barely saw them, barely saw them. I really don't like fighting down the screen. It's way too dangerous. Can't see what's coming up at all. Get these guys killed, please. Thank you. Oh, we are monstering through this. I mean, the power plant is definitely helping at the moment, but even without that. Ooh, channeling pylon. I mean, that will mean we don't need to worry about our resources. It's always going to be a welcome situation to be in. I know, Amos. Whatever you say, mate. Whatever you say. Yeah, it's not going to be long until we get the Rift Guardian. So let's start by killing these guys off. Nicely done. Lost that channeling pylon now. So back to just regular murder. Everything does feel a little bit faster in this map than the last one. So I want to make sure that I don't get accidentally overwhelmed. Looks like we've got another elite coming in. Cool. Infernal Maiden is potentially quite dangerous, so let's get her killed as quickly as possible. There we go, before she even recovered from the original stun. We got gloves, we got mutilation guard, and that's it. Well, I'm not going to complain. The gloves are not Tasker and Theo. That looks like gladiator gauntlets. I mean, they're okay. They're just not really what we're looking for. Let's head back to town. We'll hand this in, and then we can run another regular rift. Oh yeah, we've ID'd everything. We did get a fair few Garrigan levels from that, though. Our resource cost reduction is getting much better. Of course, our speed is constantly improving as well. That's kind of vital. So, mutilation guard, melee damage reduction. Yeah, I mean, no, not for us. It's another one of those ranked ones. Let's make sure I've not got any. Sorry, when I say ranked, I mean limited rank. So these go up to 99 and 100. So if we really wanted to use them later on for countersense spare, it wouldn't be sensible. I don't know if you are aware that when you're getting the gems for selection at the end of a rift, it does them in the order of the ones you got in your inventory. Then it does them in the order of top left first. So by having Bane of the Trapped up here, it'll always be the first one on the selection. Very, very handy to know if you want to focus on a particular gem. This is going to be our first Torment 8 rift. What else have we got to do? We've got to do the set dungeon. We've got to kill Malthael and Sadir. We could go and do Sadir. I'm not going to do Malthael at Torment 8. That's just asking for trouble. Especially given how things went last time with Malthael. I mean, he is in my bad books. Luckily, we don't actually need to do the season journey in any particular order. We can look ahead and see what other tasks are coming up.
I need arcane power.
Yeah, I'll take double death breaths. We're at the point where they start dropping, which is awesome.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Yeah, lots of nasty poison things flinging around all over the place. Definitely have to be a little bit careful. Alright, focus on them then. Yeah, they pretty much went down as easy as everything else. I think Cormac's a bit of a grandstander when it comes to talking about his achievements. To be fair, if I wanted anyone, like, being my bard and going along explaining what daring do and other things I've been up to, I'd want it to be Cormac. I mean, he will make it sound amazing. Ah, it's a fleeting shrine. That's okay. That's not going to reduce our resource efficiency.
I am so good. I astound myself.
Yeah, give me all the stuff. I'm gonna get this chest down here as well. Ooh. After we make the area safe.
I'm just warming up.
Very important order of events there. Make the area safe first, then loot the room. And we'll get some more experience from that pool of reflection.
I'm just warming up.
Of course, when there's only one enemy left, you can sometimes just be like, yeah, I'm going to put a black hole on you, and then I'm going to open this thing.
I am unstoppable.
Now, one of the other things we want to pick up is Jang's envelopment. After this rift, I want to just double check, make sure that I don't already have a Jang's envelopment, because it's one that often slips past, because I look at it and I go, oh, that's nice, but ... and then there's something better for me to wear. I'm pretty certain that we haven't done that this time, but it's definitely worth checking to make sure, rather than assuming.
Feel.
Pretty open and empty rift level, this one. Garrigan level 144. Running at this this higher level, we are really rocketing it up. But this is what happens once you get your damage output high enough. If you're working remotely and you've got a good getaway strategy, I think that's a nice, polite way of putting it. Then yeah, you can really shoot up to 200 without any problem. That's the other thing we could do. We could use our consumable early. In fact, no, I wanted to re-roll Death Wish, because Death Wish isn't a brilliant one. But once we re-roll it, or if we find another one, then we can improve on it.
Need more time.
Use that Ramalama Ding Dong. And that'll give us a pretty significant damage boost as well, because we'll stick an emerald right in there. wandering around looking for interesting mobs to fight. Ah, I think we might have... yeah, look, found one. Found more, actually. Let's not stay underneath that beam. That worked out okay. Get that fire flinger killed before he flings fire at me. Ooh. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. At that point, I really wanted Mutilation Guard. Melee damage smacked me right down. Okay, I don't think there's going to be much more interesting in this area, so let's push on to the next. Counselor's Descent level 4. See those guys off to the side. Yeah, having these Hydras last twice as long is great for protracted fires. And it does mean that our Etched Sigil will focus on our other arcane spenders like Black Hole. Come on, clear the area. I want that Death's Breath. Sand Shaper, okay. Another one went pretty quickly. Only a single Great Rift Keystone, but yeah, we got some blood shards and other things from that. And we're actually like perfectly full of stuff. Always nice when that happens. Yeah, it feels like efficiency in your inventory. Jeez. For a moment I thought I'd forgotten to put the Ramalama Ding Dong in there. And then I realised I was on the wrong page. That was a little bit leery. Okay, salvage these up. And put points in. I was going to have a little look for Chang's envelopment, wasn't I? Shema here. No, we don't have one yet. Okay, good to know. Very good to know. At this point, we could do another Greater Rift and then we'll do some gambling. Let's put it up to 39. So the good thing about the Bane of the Trapped is everything is going to be slowed down or frozen. It's really just going to extra make sure that things are done, because it's a huge damage increase that it gives us. Right at the start, it's like 30%. It's just things have to be actually stunned. So against Juggernauts, it's probably not going to be as effective. This is great and all, but this isn't giving me any elites to fight. These are all basically just trash mobs. There we go. That's what I needed. Yeah, these things, there's lots of them, and they're worth next to nothing. Easy to kill, of course, but doesn't help when you're trying to make progress. We're ending up using a lot of resources to keep moving at a decent speed. Okay, let's just push on. Hello, Amos. What are you doing, mate? No. Nice try, but you can't help with this one. Wait till I'm doing Warzone, then you can help out. Make sure we don't get charged. And get these guys nicely taken out. There we go. 147. And we're up to a reasonable point of progress compared to the timer. For those who've watched previous seasons, you know I like to try and keep it about double the time on the right over there, just so that I've got a nice buffer. If I'm not quite there, then either I'm punching above my weight, or I've had a really bad run. Also means that if the Rift Guardian is particularly powerful, it gives time to ramp up against it, and that's probably something that I'm going to have to consider later on. While I do want to use Ice Blink, as we get further and further in, I'm probably going to need Bane of the Stricken, just to make sure we've got the damage output we need. I see you trying to do a charge at me. Ooh, lots of fire everywhere. Fire from the oppressors, we've got fire from the little weird things that fling fire everywhere, we've got fire from the basically dinosaurs. And then we've got fire from those huge bellows. Almost gained another level. Give me back my resources. There we go. Thank you. And now resources are not a problem at all. Okay, that was actually starting to hurt a little bit in there. Let's just make sure that we're not getting smacked in close combat, because our health is pretty fragile once we start getting touched. Alright. On to the next. That's a pretty good entry area. Lots of explosions. I'm a little bit jealous. I prefer it when it's me exploding rather than the enemies, but I'll happily take the enemies exploding as long as it doesn't kill me.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
Erathon. Half dead. Fully dead. We got some pants out of that. And a shield. And invigorating gemstone. And a belt. Those look like firebirds. Okay, well, we'll carry on with Bane of the Trapped. Sorry, not 30%. It'll get up to 30% when we rank it up enough. But it's still a very significant damage increase that it gives you. I think it starts off as 15%. Yeah, these are okay, but...
Need to go back.
Out of all the shields that we could have got, there are a lot more interesting ones. Let's put our points in. So, Storm Shield. Nah. I'm going to give it to Cormac anyway. Because it's better than nothing, but it's really, like, barely better than nothing. Firebed's down, we'll just salvage up. Talrash's Brace is definitely worth us wearing because of that extra toughness. And a little bit extra damage, but mostly the extra toughness. Vigilante Belt will just get salvaged up. Now, what else did I have of Talrash's? This is a time for us to change over and start calling meteors down. So we've still got 2 bits of Veers, which is, you know, nice, but not necessary. I don't need this for the reduced cooldown. We could reduce our resource costs, but I don't feel like we need to. Instead, I'm going to put some extra life in there. That's what I'm going to do. So combine gems. Okay, we don't have the plans to get that any higher, but 21% extra life is huge. I need to take off Galvanizing Ward and then put it back on. There we go. There we go. Shield of over 1 million. Yes, please. I wonder if I take all of these out and swap them for... No, we'll do that another time. I don't need to do that now. I need to do that if we start like getting properly killed. Firebirds, as I said. Well, actually, no. I'll hold on to it. We can always revolt into a different bit of Firebirds. Depth Diggers, they can just go. Invigorating Gemstone, that comes across to here. And I still need a ring that we can actually put something in. So I think we'll go to Kadala and start asking her for some. We might get lucky. She might be generous.
Hello there.
I can't afford to upgrade any at the moment, so...
What? I didn't even know I had that thing. Do come back again. Don't forget, luck always changes.
Okay, of the ones that have sockets in, are there any that are not completely pants? I mean, because this gives us intelligence and critical hit damage, it's pretty solid. Chance to deal area damage is nice. Yeah, we just got such a good one at the moment. Okay, I think this one's the best one for us to change over to. So we'll do that. We are losing some damage, but that's okay because we're going to be getting that damage back. And the chance to deal 16% area damage on hit is pretty awesome. So in here, Bane of the Trapped comes across. So that's straight an 18% increase in damage. So it is a benefit. Now eventually this is going to be replaced by the Convention of Elements when we find it. But that is going to be quite a way in the future. So happy about our new shield. Our new shield is just like massive. Okay, well, let's go kill Sadia. Is it Sadia that I need to do for the final one? Yeah, let's go kill Sadia. Should be relatively straightforward, and that'll round out the act quite nicely. Meteors. Because who doesn't love a little bit of extra meteor damage? I mean, I'm really going to enjoy this. We only really do 2 different damage types. Oh, actually, no, we do fire damage as well, don't we? So we've got fire, we've got lightning, we've got frost. Do we have arcane? And we've got arcane. We've actually got them all. Now, the actual amount of damage that they do is not going to be huge, but it's still free damage. So, yeah, brilliant. Mixing it up to towels. I definitely feel like we're fine on our resources. Made the right choice with our extra shield. It doesn't do an insignificant amount of damage either. I mean, obviously, most of our damage is coming from our lovely Hydras, but it's still pretty awesome to see. Didn't actually get to see how much that did. If we're not channeling, then it's reduced, so it's not a fair reflection. I think it's just always going to be a little bit busy, and we'll just have to take it as read that it's doing a good amount. Let's put our point into movement speed just before we get down to see the lady herself. Hello. Anti-venom. And my spider sense is tingling. Love it. Grab all these bits and head back to town. We'd probably be okay on the Malthael fight, but I'm not going to do it at Torment 8, even with this massive... Actually, with this massive shield, we could be okay. I'll drop it down to Torment 7 because that's the level that we actually need to do it at, and because the Malthael fight is so frustrating in the way it works. It would be highly disappointing if this ends up killing me. In fact, if anything, this would be a time to change over my equipment to diamonds. And I might do that just before we get in there. Because the extra damage that I get from my topazes is great, but really we don't need that much extra damage. Or do I keep the extra damage and try and just kill him quicker? Ah, this is why it's a difficult thing. We should be fine. Feels like we've been through this bit before. Even down to the book up on the top. Alright, yeah, we're going to be fine. I will put this point into critical hit chance, though. If we do it while we've still got Bane of the Powerful. Ah, teleported away. Okay. I made that out to be a big thing, but it actually went pretty well. So, screw you, Malthael. You ain't gonna kill me this season. And we're never going in for that Malthael fight again, just because it is so janky. It is janky as all hell. Alright, well, you get to learn Reaper's Wraps, which is lovely. You can also salvage up all the rest of the tosh that I picked up. And with that, I'm afraid we are out of time for this episode. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this. We got the funness of having a two-piece Typhon set, a two-piece Viz set, and a two-piece Tau Rashers set. This is not what I would have expected to be running Torment 8 with, but there we are. As always, if you have enjoyed this episode, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for some more Diablo 3. See you soon.